So something people don't talk about on a weight loss journey is how the same insecurities or vulnerabilities or social triggers that you had when you were plus size can still impact you, although you have a whole different body that you're presenting now. So an example of that, so for instance, today I'm at the beach. Something that is a trigger for me is, of course, walking across the beach in a bathing suit or swimming attire. So today I have on a one piece and a coverall. As a plus size person, my personal experience is, I'm walking on the beach or I'm walking at a pool. Who's looking at me? Who thinks I'm too big for this outfit? Who thinks I shouldn't be here? What are the thoughts people are having of me? And that was if I'm being completely honest and vulnerable, that was the insecurity I had. Logically, I know that I am smaller, but it takes the mind a longer time to catch up with that. And I don't want to call it body dysmorphia because that's a mental disorder that somebody should be diagnosed with. But let's call it body anxiety, right? So you know that you're smaller, but the trigger of being at the beach still says, "Oh my God, what are people saying?" Now, truthfully, nobody should have anything to say about anybody, any size, right? We should all appreciate our bodies and the bodies of each other, and everybody has the right and the freedom to just exist. But we know society doesn't, and those are the societal triggers that happen. For me, I'll say I don't want to speak for anybody else, but for me, I've also experienced this. For instance, at the gym. So um, when I was larger and I wanted to start on a journey, and you go to the gym, you want to work out, but if I start running on the treadmill, for instance, and maybe I'm tired in 30 seconds, my mind is like, gosh, I want to stop. Somebody's probably looking at me like, oh, look at her stopping, she's probably lazy, or whatever thought they may have negative about me is going in my head. And I shouldn't be concerned about that, but it's another social trigger because we know how society treats people, right? And I suppose that, I've had experiences with friends who are very small or thin, who people are saying, like, oh, you're too small, you're so skinny. So I know this is not something that you only experience it being plus size. I know only women don't experience, men probably experience the same thing. If you're a thin man, you would like to be muscular, you maybe have some of the same triggers when you're walking. Does somebody think you're too skinny, too scrawny, not big enough, too short, or things like that? But anyway, I'm just sharing that as a moment of vulnerability. This is part of weight loss journey that people don't talk about. How do you cope with it? If anybody else is sharing this experience, how do you cope with it? I, for one, I have a therapist. I had a therapist. I always have a therapist on any change in my life.